Page 2 of your review sheet for your polynomials test. In this function, if you notice that this function is a difference of cubics, you have an x cubed and a 64, both of which are perfect cubes. In this function, your domain is all real numbers because if you look up and down the graph, it's going to keep going right and keep going left. Range is going to keep going down and keep going up, so therefore both your domain and range are all real numbers. Continuous because there is no breaks in the graph. Your x-intercept in this graph is 4. Your y-intercept is negative 64, and I know that this graph really isn't representative of that being negative 64, but you know that again because when x is 0, that just leaves you with negative 64. End behavior, as x goes to positive infinity, the graph goes to positive infinity. As x goes to negative infinity, the graph goes to negative infinity. There are no local max, mins, or absolute max or mins in this graph. So therefore, let's go on to your increasing and decreasing interval. In this graph, from left to right, the graph is always increasing. It never decreases. So therefore, your increasing interval is the entire function from negative infinity to positive infinity, which means that there is no decreasing interval. In order to be able to get the solutions for this function, you know that since the highest power is 3, the degree is 3, and there should be a total of 3 solutions. This graph only crosses the x-axis one time in the graph. Therefore, you have 2 imaginary solutions that you need to find by factoring. Your real solution is 4. That is the only solution that you have, which means that when you factor this, you need to use the pattern of difference of cubics. Therefore, you know that the first number, cubic, the cube root of x cubed is x, and the cube root of 64 is 4. So you're going to be working with x and 4. X minus 4 is the pattern, then x squared plus 4x plus 16. One of your solutions, again, is 4, represented right there in that first binomial. Now we need to use the quadratic formula for the rest of the solutions. Okay? So negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Negative 4 plus or minus, simplify 4 squared, which is 16. 4 times 16, which is 64. 16 minus 64 is negative 48. From that point, you can then just pull out the I and write the square root of 48, and this is the furthest that you need to go in your solutions. Then you can see your product of linear factors here at the bottom. This concludes the explanation of page 2.